Alright, so I have a couple questions to ask.
Okay.
And one of them is there a certain reason why you're currently using worms instead of flies?
Yeah, because the mullet really don't chase after flies. They're looking for like worms and sand fleas and stuff like that.
Okay. Are there certain things that you have to consider when fishing in an ocean instead of fishing in a stream?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, because you're almost trying to fish a stream here in the ocean, which is this channel here that's right in front of us. So it's kind of like fishing. It's a little bit different. So that's what I'm trying to get it down in that drop right there. And there's usually mullet, flounder, and then every once in a while the surf will push spot over the sandbar, and then you can catch them down in here. So right now the tide is heading out, so it's a little less likely we're going to catch anything, but I think it's worth a try.
Is there a certain place you're aiming for, a certain way you're trying to cast when fishing here?
Yeah, I'm trying to drop it so that it hits the sandbar and then drops into the trough.
Okay. Alright, so I asked you a couple questions.
Okay.
One of the things I was wondering, and I think a lot of people who watch the videos would also probably like to know, if you're beginning, where would be the optimal place to fish to catch the most fish? The ocean, a lake, or some sort of moving water like a stream or a river?
Yeah, I think the surf is a great place to start learning how to fish.
Oh yeah.
Because I think everybody usually goes on a family vacation at the beach, and it's a great way to start.
Okay. But also as a more experienced fisherman, how do you think that would be? Would the ocean be better, or would
I think fly fishing on a nice trout stream in Pennsylvania is a great
way
challenge.
To go.
Yeah, it gets you into some really scenic spots.
Also for beginners, how do you get started? Like fly fishing or just normal fishing, like getting all your flies ready, learning how to
Well, I mean, as far as the bait fishing here, I keep it really simple. Pretty simple hooks. I went barbless hooks. Basically, I just smash the barbs down now, so it's easy to take them out of the fish. I just use bait. Like I will use worms or sand fleas or sometimes shrimp if I'm feeling like it's a special night for the fish.
But when you're a beginner, how do you think you should set up? So should you have multiple rods or just one that you use?
Oh, I think just one rod is the best. Probably the lightest rod possible to get the bait out into the surf, so that you can feel it's good and sensitive to the hit, the strike of the fish. I also try to use the minimal weight possible. So this is a 2 ounce, which for the amount of waves here today, 2 ounces is good. I try to get down to 1 ounce if I can, but if it's too light, it'll move around in the surf too much.
I see. When casting, what is the best way to cast? How do you want to cast?
Well, I'll show you in a minute. So what I'm going to try to do then is I'm just going to, so this is a spinning rod. I'm just going to try to get this out to the other side of the channel, okay? And just hit the sandbar. And I just try to keep the motion real simple, just like this. Flip. Good. And we just tighten up the line until you can feel that the line is nice and tight. And then we just wait. That's it. Pretty simple. Just worm. We're just using earthworms right now. And it's pretty simple. You just try to hook it through a couple different spots of the worm. Move it up the hook. Like that. I have 2 hooks. One's down towards the weight, the other one's up a couple feet. And they're hanging just separately like that. And this is pretty effective. Again, if I've used cut bait, but this is a good way to start. These are pretty simple, pretty easy to find. They work. Okay.
So most of the time, how long would you say it takes to catch a fish?
Well, it can take, you can get a fish on your first cast, or it can take you an hour or two, you know. Just kind of depends on whether the fish are there or not, whether they're hit.
What would the best kind of bait to use down at the beach be?
The best time to fish is usually in the morning whenever the tide is coming in this way.
What's the best bait?
Best bait is like what I'm using, worms, the sand fleas.
If you had to choose one, which one would you choose?
I think sand fleas are probably the best.